Hello, I'm attorney Chinwe Foster with the Foster Law Firm. Today we're going to talk about temporary protective orders, or TPOs for short. But before we get into that, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can follow along with our informational videos. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Foster Law GA. If ever you feel threatened, violated, attacked, or feel that you are in harm's way, in addition to contacting the police, Georgia law gives you an additional tool to further protect yourself. This tool is known as a temporary protective order, or a TPO for short. In Georgia, a TPO can not only prevent someone from contacting or harassing you, but it can also help you obtain temporary child support, alimony, housing, or other assistance until the dispute can be further resolved. In Georgia, there are two types of TPOs: family violence protective orders or stalking protective orders. In order to show the court that you qualify for a family violence protective order, you have to show the court that there was a relationship and some form of violence that occurred. So let's talk about those two requirements. The relationship requirement: you have to show the court that you and the other party, the respondent, who is the person that you're trying to get the TPO against, have some form of familiar relationship. That means that you're either spouse, husband and wife, former husband and wife, you have children together, step parents, a parent and a child, or that you and the other person formerly lived together. These are just some of the requirements that you have to show the court to meet the relationship test. So once you've shown the court that you meet the relationship requirement, you then have to show the court that some form of violence has occurred. This means that the respondent, the person that you're trying to get the TPO against, has committed some form of violence against you, whether it be a felony, assault or battery, criminal damage to your property, trespass, some form of detainment, something to show the court that this person has committed some form of violence against you that you need protection from. In order to obtain a stalking TPO, you have to be able to show the court that there has been a pattern of behavior that causes you harassment or intimidation and causes you to fear for the safety of yourself or the safety of a family member. Now, this behavior cannot just be someone is annoying you or you don't like what someone is doing. There has to be a pattern, and the pattern of that behavior has to cause you reasonable concern or fear for your safety and the safety of a family member. So now that you know the requirements to get a family violence protective order or a stalking protective order, how do you request one? In order to request a TPO, you have to file it in the superior court where the respondent resides. Now remember, the respondent is the person for which you want to get protection from. Now, what if you don't know where they live? You can also file the TPO in the superior court where the family violence or stalking occurred. So now you're at the superior court and you're ready to file your TPO. What is the process? After you filled out the application for the TPO, you then have to go before a superior court judge and give sworn testimony as to why you're applying for the TPO. Now, this is an ex parte hearing. What that means is it's just you and the judge. The other person, the respondent, does not have to be present. After the judge hears your sworn testimony and signs the TPO, you then have to get the respondent personally served. This means that you can't just email them your application or hand it to them. They have to be personally served either by the sheriff or a private process server. Now, after the respondent has been personally served, there's going to be a formal hearing within 30 days of the date that you applied for the TPO. At this formal hearing, the respondent will have to be present and you will have to be present. You'll have to present evidence, which includes testimony, witnesses, or any other evidence that you have to show the court that your TPO should be permanently granted. The respondent will have a chance to respond and defend themselves against the TPO. After the court hears the evidence, if the court feels that you've met your burden, now the burden is on you to prove that you should get a permanent TPO. If the court feels that you've met the burden, the court can issue a permanent protective order for 12 months or for 3 years. Now you know what the requirements are for a family violence protective order or a stalking protective order in the state of Georgia. If you feel that you may need a TPO, or if you're the respondent and you've been served with a TPO and you need assistance, make sure you contact us at 404 525 3082 or at fosterlawga.com. I'm attorney Chinwe Foster with the Foster Law Firm, where we specialize in aggressive and effective legal representation. Thank you for watching.